Fire and electrical safety. Compliance training. Electricity has long been recognized as a serious workplace hazard, and regardless of their position, employees need proper training that teaches them ways to identify and evaluate electrical and fire hazards, and which demonstrate strategies for controlling recognized hazards. U.S. government agencies have published standards with guidelines for protecting employees and patients from the hazard of fires and electricity. The agencies include the National Fire Protection Agency, NFPA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Operations, JCAHO or TJC. Many local and state agencies have also adopted codes that regulate hospitals, ambulatory care, or long-term care centers. One of the most dangerous issues facing healthcare facilities is the threat of fire. This is due to several aspects distinctive to healthcare settings. Partially or non-ambulatory patients require assistance to relocate away from a fire. Some patients, though ambulatory, may be disoriented due to their medication. Use of pure oxygen, flammable liquids and gases, and laboratory processes that use hazardous substances. Use of electrical and specialized equipment, such as lasers and other ignition sources in oxygen-enriched atmospheres. Because of these issues, healthcare safety managers must be especially knowledgeable and have a fire safety management plan. Fire Safety Plan. The purpose of a fire safety plan is to prevent fires, provide information so each employee will be prepared to respond to a fire situation properly, will know the location of fire extinguishers in their work area and how to operate them. Personnel are required to have annual fire extinguisher training. Will take precautions with electrical circuits, wires, and connections, so that they do not receive shocks or enable fires to occur. Ensure coordination of effort and cooperation among personnel in caring for patients during a fire. What causes fire? Fires are only possible when the following three elements exist: oxygen, heat, and fuel. The leading causes of healthcare facility fires are improperly used or maintained electrical equipment, improper use or storage of flammable liquids, space heaters, clothes washers, and dryers, cooking equipment, microwaves, ovens, stoves, smoking in inappropriate places, contained trash or debris. Facility fires. Fire prevention. Employees' role. Look for and report loose wires, electrical outlets, and switches. Know the proper care and storage of combustible materials. Keep all flammable materials away from heat sources. Prohibit portable space heating devices from patient treatment and sleeping areas. Report any odor of gas or the sounds of leaking gas. Keep fire doors free of objects applied to the door face, except for informational signs. Keep all access doors and exit doors free of mirrors, hangings, draperies, or decorations that might conceal, obscure, or confuse the direction of an exit. Prohibit combustible decorations unless flame retardant. Eliminate all waste materials. Take all fire drills seriously. Respond to each fire drill as if it were a real fire. Become familiar with your fire plan and know your responsibilities during a fire. Fire prevention. Hospital's role. Inspect, test, and maintain all fire safety systems and life safety systems, equipment, and components. Build compartmentalization for containing the spread of smoke and fire. Conduct annual evaluation of the safety management plan's objectives, scope, performance, and effectiveness. Establish and maintain a fire-safe environment. Conduct unannounced fire drills regularly. Document all fire drills as required by JCAHO. A no smoking policy is required. Smoking must be prohibited in all areas inside the facility, courtyards and building entrances except as designated. Restricting smoking reduces risks to patients who smoke, including possible adverse effects on treatment, risks of passive smoking for others, risks of fire. Fire and fire drill response procedures. When you are faced with a fire emergency, it will help if you remember the acronym RACE. R, rescue. A, alarm. C, contain. E, extinguish and evacuate. RACE. Rescue anyone from the immediate fire area. Never shout fire. Proceed in a calm and confident manner. Fear and panic increases injuries. Give clear, concise directions when evacuating ambulatory patients. Use appropriate equipment to evacuate non-ambulatory patients. Remain close to the floor in smoky areas. Alarm or alert staff and fire department. Announce Code Red on the overhead paging system. Warn persons in the immediate area. Sound the alarm by pulling a fire alarm at the pull box or call 911. Contain fire to prevent spreading. Close all doors and windows in the location of the fire. Keep corridors clear and do not place anything in front of fire doors that may block them from closing properly. Extinguish fire or evacuate building. Extinguish the fire using a dry chemical fire extinguisher. The agent stopped the chemical reaction within the flame. Do not attempt to use water. You could be electrocuted. Fire extinguishers are labeled with letters that indicate what kind of fire they can be used on. Class A. Fire involves ordinary materials, such as wood and paper, that leave an ember of ash. Class B. Fire involves flammable liquids, such as gasoline, oil, or common organic solvents, such as used in the laboratory. Class C. Fire involves energized electrical equipment. The power is turned on. Using the wrong type of fire extinguisher may not only fail to put it out, but may actually cause the fire to spread. Evacuate the fire. If the fire is not completely out after using a fire extinguisher, evacuate the area. Employees' role. Know the amount of time you have to evacuate patients. Locate the time limit on smoke doors. This can usually be found on the inside of the door frame, usually 20 minutes. When fleeing from fire or smoke danger, evacuate past the fire or smoke rated doors. Do not use an elevator. Wait for professional help. Do not place yourself or others in danger. How to use a fire extinguisher. Remember, PASS, pass. Pull pin, aim at base of fire, sweep slowly from side to side. All medical personnel must know the location of fire extinguishers in their work area and how to operate them. Personnel are required to have annual fire extinguisher training. General precautions. Every effort must be made to maintain an electrically safe environment within the healthcare facility and its grounds. Special precautions need to be taken while using electrically operated equipment or devices. Employees should not bring personal items from home and use them in the work environment without having equipment inspected and approved. Departments should not procure home model type appliances for use in their department. Be aware of possible interaction of equipment or devices. Be careful with liquids around patients and equipment. Most liquids are good electrical conductors. Always make simple electrical safety checks by looking for bare conductors and loose receptacles. Routinely examine all wiring, cords, plugs, temporary power strips, and extension cords for any signs of exposed or deteriorating material before use. Make sure if a device is to be grounded that it is. Remember to report any unsafe condition immediately. Patient electrical safety. When using electrical equipment or devices while in contact with patients, follow these safety cautions. Do not allow patients to touch equipment. Take care that liquids are not spilled on equipment. Do not touch patients while touching exposed metal surfaces. Follow patient care procedures when turning off or disconnecting equipment. Electrical equipment. All electronically operated equipment introduced into the health facility, regardless of ownership, must be inspected and have safety clearance by the appropriate department. All electrical equipment must be equipped with a hospital-grade 3-prong polarized plug or be battery-operated. In order to comply with hospital-grade certification, the plugs must comply with Underwriters Laboratory UL 60601-1, 817, or 498 certification. The standards ensure that the hospital plugs are capable of coping with increased demands on them and do not fail during life-threatening situations. Safety rules for equipment. Turn off equipment when not in use, unless manufacturer advises otherwise. Use equipment only for the purpose intended by the manufacturer. Do not operate electrical equipment unless you have been trained and are authorized to do so. Exercise extreme caution when using equipment in emergency situations. Power strips must consist of UL-approved cord with a 3-pronged plug. Metallic-bodied 2- or 3-blade end connectors are prohibited. Must never be plugged into other power strips. Must be kept off walkways and floors where they can become a tripping hazard. Must be plugged directly into mounted electrical receptacles. Cannot be used in conjunction with refrigerators, portable heaters, coffee pots, or similar heat-producing devices. Cannot be used where flammable vapors or explosive atmospheres exist. Extension cords must consist of UL-approved cord with 3-pronged plug. 2-wire extension cords are prohibited in any patient care area. Metallic-bodied 2- or 3-blade end connectors are also prohibited. Must only be used for a single piece of electrical apparatus. Must only be used for temporary work conditions or in case of emergency. Cannot be used in conjunction with power strips or multi-plug adapters. Cannot be used where flammable vapors, gases, or explosive dusts are present. Safety rules for power cords. Do not disconnect a plug from the wall by grasping the power cord and pulling. Keep all cords off walkway floors and out of reach to protect vulnerable patients. Protect cords by running them along perimeter wall, or enclose them in a protective cover to prevent tripping hazards. Keep cords away from rough, sharp, hot, or greasy surfaces. Broken or faulty equipment. Unplug and report immediately any electrical equipment with a cracked cord, broken plug, or one that causes smoke, sparks, or a minor shock during use. Know what to do and whom to contact for broken, damaged, or unauthorized electrical and electronic equipment. Describe the specific problem of malfunctioning equipment. Reporting electrical hazards. Report to Facilities Department or the safety officer any plug that is broken, bent, or loose. Control knobs that are loose or do not work or feel right. Any wall receptacles that are loose or damaged. Any evidence of overheating by smell or touch. Electric shock or electrocution. Do not attempt to rescue a victim of electric shock or electrocution until 1. The victim is clear of the power source. 2. A qualified person has turned off the power source.